Hey, my name is Zach. I'm the founder of Clarity Design Studio, and I wanted to go over one of my projects today with you. This one is called Mirror. It's a online shopping project. So we have some high fidelity mockups here to get us started. So first we have a project summary. So the client's name is Mirror, obviously. This was an academic project via Design Lab, the school where I got my UX certificate. I had two goals here. The first goal was to design a responsive e-commerce website that's easy to use and allows customers to browse through different clothing categories and details. And then the second goal was to create a new way for Mirror to break into the online marketplace. What I did was everything from user research, including card sorting and a product roadmap, through some wireframing, both low fidelity and high fidelity, and then prototype creation and testing. This took me about 2 months to do. So first is the introduction. This is how I like to structure my case studies here. We start with the intro, talk about what Mirror is, how it works, and what the task was. So Mirror, like I mentioned earlier, is this fictitious fashion company, kind of like H&M or Zara. They've done really well over the last 20 years offline. But now they want to take their business online and gain more of the market share. So the Mirror website was designed not only to take orders on clothing items, but to also limit the amount of returns as well. This was a major pain point of the company. So I took the notion that Mirror is just a regular clothing store, and I created a body scan as a way to get perfectly fitting clothing. So the way this works is a full scan of your body is done at any Mirror location and allows the customer to see how clothes will fit them before they purchase it, as well as tell them what size they recommend. So this became a major pain point that I found out in online shopping, which is excessive returns due to ill-fitting purchases. Moving on to the research, I interviewed people in the field, talked to several men and women within the target age ranges, and people who shop online frequently. This is a competitive analysis of other companies that Mirror would be competing against, as well as some provisional personas and a summary of what I found. Moving on to the definition. So I like to use a user persona and an empathy map to gain more insight into the pains and gains of the potential users. So this is a ideal customer, mid-20s, young professional, likes to shop online, and is looking for somewhere to shop that is accessible as well as stylish. Moving into the empathy map, we talk about what we're doing, seeing, hearing, and thinking and feeling, as well as the pains and gains of this particular persona, this particular user. This really allows us to get into the mind of a potential user and see what makes them angry, what makes them happy, and how the product can really fit into their daily life. Moving on to the sitemap, this shows us where each page is in the site and all the different pages connected to it, and then to the user flow. I've shown two different scenarios here. One is coming from a Google search into the Mirror homepage. The other is from a social media post, like an Instagram post, with a landing page connected to that and then into the Mirror homepage. And this shows a couple different ways that a user could get into purchasing items, creating a member account, and placing the order. Also in the research, I did a card sorting exercise. This proved to be really important because it showed how people categorize different clothing items. Some people did it by season, some people did it by gender, some people did it by mood or look. So it was really interesting to see how people categorize their clothing items and figure out what's the most important features for the website. And then I did a product roadmap of the features to see what we needed to have and what maybe isn't so important. Designing, I like to start with wireframes sketched by hand, usually first if I have the time. This is because it allows me to really get my ideas down literally on pen and paper and see how everything is going to look visually on the front page, especially. And this is some low fidelity wireframes of that. The next step before I do the UI elements is to create a logo. So I wanted to incorporate elements related to a user's mirror and really play off that idea of a reflection. So through some research and ideation, I sketched some ideas and then created some digital versions as well. And this is the one I ended up going with. In the UI kit, talking about the color palette, we're using whites and grays and blacks, keeping it very minimal and clean and modern, as well as a light blue, like a periwinkle type color to really soften it. And then we talk about the typography, the icons, the buttons, the fields, and the images. These are the features of the visual part of the product. And then finally, the test. So the test you can see here is booking an appointment to get scanned in a mirror location. So you can see this person is on their phone, they're selecting their chosen date, and you can see how long the appointments last. And then you fill out a little bit of info. If you have an account or not, answer that question, and boom, you're done. There's a confirmation and it tells you when and where your appointment is. So you can see there, that's the finished homepage. And yeah, some key takeaways I had. Everybody has a different way of categorizing things, which is why it's really helpful when you're working on an e-commerce site or application to do a card sorting exercise. I think that's really important. Also, when users are struggling to the point that they can't access the purpose of the product, it might be considered to rearrange how the product is. And the reason why I say that is because I consider doing a mobile body scan with your phone, actually taking your cell phone and scanning your body this way, tested that idea and it didn't really work out. And that's where the going in to book an appointment to get it scanned more accurately and quicker in the Mirror store. So thank you for taking the time to view this video on Mirror. And if you'd like to work with me, you can send me an email at zachtylercohen@gmail.com or shoot me an email on the Clarity website. Thanks.